Andy Forbes is an individual who was born in 1939, the 24th of December, in Bombara, North Caicos. So in 1946, the 12th of November, I came to the Bahamas and came to Pine Ridge on the boat, the General Express. And I went to school, might have been for 1 or 2 years, because in Pine Ridge at the time it was a small little school, and Mr. Campbell was the teacher. And then I leave Pine Ridge in 1956 and went back to Turks and Caicos for a brief period to see my mother. And then I come back and start to work. Be the person, if you need water, I was to go to the water hole and dip the water out of the hole and bring it for the men them to drink. Mm-hmm. I used to live in Green Village. Mm-hmm. Green Village was one of the main streets in Pine Ridge. We had house to live in. We had all the water, and later on electricity come. We had electricity at the time. Living was pretty good in Pine Ridge. And we had our own supermarket. We moved from there and we went to Happy Canyon, which was North Riding Point Gap. And we stayed there until I left there in 1958. Went to Abaco, Snaky Abaco. At that time, I become a heavy equipment operator, and they built school for us. All the people from Turks and Caicos Island and Bahamians, they built school for them. In 1960, myself and Junior Outen left the farm and went to Belle Glade, Florida on a 6 weeks contract. Worked for the Florida Fruit and Vegetable Association, and our boss there, it was A. Duder and Son, breaking corn, pitching peas, cutting celery, 6 Miles Bend, and Pahokee, Florida. And then we came back to the Bahamas. Come back to the Bahamas in 1962, and I got married in 1963. The transition from Pine Ridge to Seagrape take place. All the homes was one that you could have picked up on a forklift. They had those big forklifts and put them on a lowboy. All the Seagrape was populated by those homes there, including the Church of God of Prophecy, which I'm a founding member, was built in 1952 in the month of November by Bishop J.M. Swan, who came there. He was on the contract himself, and his last place he been in Florida was DeVeris, Florida. The church and Seagrape now was the original church. They only replaced it with stone, but it's the very same place. The first sermon that Brother Swan preached was taken from John the 14th chapter. Let not your heart be troubled. And the rest of it is history. My next employment was to Bahamas Cement. Bahamas Cement. I was a foreman at Bahamas Cement. And I stayed there for about three to 4 years. And I left there and went to work for Freecount, building road. I would say I work on about 60% of the road in Freeport. 1972, I get into the transportation business. When I used to be up and down through the United States and see these beautiful Greyhound buses just running and looking so good on the road, I said, one of these days, I'm going to own one of those. You're going my way, but not my day. And it was 1972 when I get my first bus. You must have a vision. And you must know your purpose in life. And you must have a solution for all the difficult things that may seem difficult, but just look at it as a challenge to your final destination. You can't just sit on the side and watch things happen. You have to be a part of making things happen. And I was going on the road from that time until I'm leaving Wednesday of this week, going to Washington, D.C. for a conference on travel and tours.